Welcome to Devotions from Israel, a 5-minute word of encouragement. Today's devotion comes from Acts chapter 3. If you like our teaching videos on this channel, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell if you want to receive notifications of new material. Our website, also posted below, is biblicalisraeltours.com. If you are interested in any of our upcoming Israel trips or want to explore further resources and teaching on our website, go there to our ministry website, biblicalisraeltours.com. The temple courts in the first century played a very significant role in the life of virtually every Jew. Now, Gentiles were allowed on top of the Temple Mount, but they could only go so far. In fact, there was an inscription on a very short wall that prohibited them from going any further than the court of the Gentiles. But however, there was the court of the Israelites, the court of the women, the court of the priests, and of course then the holy chamber. Well, Acts chapter 3 places some of the apostles in this courtyard of the temple itself. Most likely in this courtyard that was characterized on really the west side of this courtyard by 15 Levitical steps. And above these steps was a huge gate called Nicanor's Gate. Now, most scholars believe that this was the beautiful gate as described in Acts chapter 3, where the apostles were healing and, of course, sharing about the kingdom. There's also a newer view that perhaps this beautiful gate was on the south side of the temple, in fact, in the location where the commoners would both enter and exit the temple courts. Well, wherever it was, a significant event happened, and this is what we read in Acts 3. One day, Peter and John were going up to the temple at the time of prayer. They no doubt entered from the southern steps, and this was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now a man who was lame from birth was being carried to the temple gate called Beautiful, where he was put every day to beg from those going into the temple courts. When he saw Peter and John about to enter, he asked them for money. Peter looked straight at him, as did John. Then Peter said, "Look at us." So the man gave them his attention, expecting to get something from them. Then Peter said, "Silver or gold I do not have, but what I do have I give you. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, walk." Taking him by the right hand, he helped him up, and instantly the man's feet and ankles became strong. He jumped to his feet and began to walk. He then went with them into the temple courts, walking and jumping and praising God. And when all the people saw him walking and praising God, they recognized him as the same man who used to sit begging at the temple gate called Beautiful. And they were filled with wonder and amazement at what had happened to him. Perhaps this text does suggest that the Beautiful Gate was on the southern side, because after this man was transformed physically, he then entered the temple courts. But regardless of where it was, whether it was this 50-foot high, according to Josephus, gate built by this Alexandrian Jew named Nicanor, In fact, this gate is well described by Josephus, this Jewish historian. But wherever this event took place, a transformation also took place in this man. He was looking for maybe some money. He was begging, but yet he received much more than this. He received healing in the name of Jesus. The significant role that Peter and John played in this narrative is, I think, well worth our attention. And yet what happened to this man, placing his faith in what would happen to him in terms of the healing he would experience, and recognizing that it was in the name of Jesus that he experienced healing. When we place our faith and trust in God, He does heal us. He doesn't promise a physical healing, but according to His will, He has that ability to restore us in many ways. Yes, physically, if God should will, and yet more importantly, spiritually. When we find ourselves broken and incomplete, perhaps inwardly, we are invited to simply look to Jesus, turn to Him, and realize that only He can fulfill our identity and restore us to completeness. And that happens when we place our faith and trust in Him. So turn your eyes upon Jesus today and experience His healing, His love, and His grace. Until next time, Shalom.